Alafu sisi DAKWISA tengeneza masomo yote kwa seribai na nini yote sisi DAKWISA.
Cabinet at the beginning of this week announced the compulsory teaching of Swahili in all schools across the country. The directive follows an agreement by heads of state of the East African Community member states to adapt the language.
We are looking at Swahili as the second official language, which means that the attention and the time allocation to it is different from the other languages. So it goes almost next to English.
Since the announcement, there have been fears over the government's preparedness to implement the teaching of Swahili in schools. However, officials from the Ministry of Education and Sports and the National Curriculum Development Center said there is no need to worry.
We have been having it, and I'm happy. Children who are doing it, senior 1 and 2, some of you have been going to the field. They enjoy it and they have been learning it as a language.
In the revised secondary curriculum, senior 1 and senior 2 students in secondary schools and primary 4 to primary 7 pupils have been learning the language. The ministry's spokesperson, Dr. Dennis Mjimba, says it's too early to say that the language is compulsory across all levels.
Like adaptation to special needs education, the rigorous provision of other non-textbook materials, but also looking at the teachers and trying to help them to prepare their teaching aids in Swahili and making sure that they align them with the textbook, because the textbook alone may not be enough, so that we can make sure that Kiswahili takes up in the rigor that we want.
We have to make sure that we have a good baseline and all schools are at par. You do not want to disadvantage some schools or some sub-regions if they do not have, if they've not been teaching Kiswahili, and then you begin saying all candidates have to sit for UNEB Kiswahili next year. So we cannot put a finger to that until all the building blocks are in place.
700 Swahili teachers were recruited last year to teach Kiswahili in government schools. An estimated 500 trainers have been equipped to facilitate other teachers in learning the language. According to the Ministry of Education, the public must change the attitude towards Swahili ahead of the enrollment.
We need to do some refresher programs for teachers to show them what we have adjusted, especially in the revised Kiswahili curriculum.
Kiswahili is a language, and using our spiral curriculum and the competence-based curriculum that we are using, where we emphasize language competences, knowledge competences, values, skills, communication, it's going to be very easy because the teachers are already trained in this kind of approach.
Government says schools have been receiving scholastic materials to facilitate learning. More books, especially for Swahili, will be sent to schools. Ramson Muhire, CTV PM Edition.